What's up guys, good evening and welcome to Roma Theory. Leon Bailey is basically a done deal, confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. We will speak about this today. I want to give my opinion on him because I mentioned him yesterday, but yesterday we spoke about Kone staying in the end. So I do want to share my thoughts on him as a player and everything regarding him and what stages we are at for the deal, which is going to be here we go very, very soon. Also, Roma played this afternoon, very close to Rome, in Frosinone against Neom, a Saudi team, which I was hearing the commentators speak about Neom, and I was like very entertained. Apparently, they're a Saudi team which don't have a city yet. So yeah, I mean, futuristic Saudi Arabia, they call them. And we drew 2-2. I think it was a very, very bad test. And I want to share my thoughts on that test as well, because I think I'm a bit worried, guys. I watched today's game, and I know it's a friendly game, and you have to treat friendly games with its own relative importance. But it is also true that in 7 days our season starts, and some of the things that I saw today were scandalous, to say least. But yeah. Did anyone else watch the game? Did anyone else manage to watch the game? I know it was very hard to watch it if you weren't in Italy because you couldn't find the stream. But if you did watch it, I'm sure we agree, it was a very, very, very bad performance from the boys, especially from a few individualities which you wouldn't expect. But we'll get into that in the second half of this video. If you haven't already, do hit the like. If we can get 100 likes on this video, it would be great. Let me know in the live chat if you're watching live your thoughts on Bailey and your thoughts on the friendly game. If you're not watching live, let me know in the comments your thoughts on this deal and your thoughts on the friendly game, our last friendly game before our season starts. Hit the like, 100 likes would be great, and subscribe if you haven't already. We did hit 16.5k, so that's great. Thank you guys. Right, Leon Bailey. Apparently it's a done deal. It really is. It's going to be a here we go soon. Latest update from Fabrizio Romano is that his agents traveled to Rome this morning to officially meet with Massara, end the last few things. And yeah, it's going to be a done deal soon. Also, Unai Emery confirmed in his press conference yesterday that he is moving out of Aston Villa. He didn't get a call up for Villa's game. It's going to happen. The first thing that I say about him is I like the depth. I like that I like how we're focusing not only on adding quality but adding depth, because I think if you want to work and go far in as many tournaments as possible, one of the things that we've learned in past seasons is that you need and you must improve your squad depth. And I'll be honest with you, I think the Leon Bailey signing is a signing for squad depth, because I will also be honest with you and say I don't see how he starts ahead of Soule. Now, I know a lot of people went, well, it's a smart signing because he can play both on his right and on his left. So you're getting a player, let's say you get Sancho as well, you're getting Sancho on one side, Soule and Dybala on the other side, and you're getting Bailey that can play on both sides. And I agree, it's a smart move. But I don't see him starting. I think this is a move aimed at improving squad depth. I think not starting Soule this season is one of the biggest mistakes that we can make. He's scoring again in friendly games. We'll get on to today's friendly game and the goal he scored in a second. But yeah, I don't see how he starts. Also because he's been great 2 years ago with Villa. 2 years ago with Villa, in the summer he joined from Bayer Leverkusen to Aston Villa. He was very, very good. I believe he won double figures in both goals and assists in the Premier League, which is the most competitive league in the world. So, you know, he's a good player. You can't say he's not a good player. The only doubts around him is the fact that 2024, 2025, he's had fitness injuries and fitness problems and hasn't really played on a regular basis. So, yeah, he peaked in 2023, 2024, and then in last season, he didn't play much. Also, maybe because Emery didn't really find a strategy of starting him. You know, Villa had a lot of depth last season, so I like this signing. I don't oppose it, but I don't think he's a starting player. I see him as a killer sub type signing. You know, somebody who comes in the last 30 minutes and with the characteristics that he has, wins you the game. That's the signing I see. I don't see him starting. And frankly speaking, I'm so into Soule this season. Not in that sense. I'm so into like Soule's growth this season and Soule's development, following him through this preseason, that I want Soule to start. So that's but look, characteristic wise, he's what we need. As I said with Sancho, the more players we add on the flanks, offensive threats, the more goals we'll score. It's as simple as that. Gasperini knows this himself. The more players you add up front, the better. And I will also say another thing. Now, today again, friendly game, don't judge, don't build your overall judgments. But yet again, I saw a game where Dovbyk did nothing in the 45 minutes he played. And in Dovbyk's defense, because otherwise it feels like I always attack him, on Dovbyk's defense, I will also say that Ferguson did nothing in his first 45 minutes. And it's a few games now that neither Ferguson nor Dovbyk actually are doing something. I'm not worried. It's pre-season. Don't be worried. But these are signs. You know, if goals can't come from our strikers, goals need to come from our wingers. And if you can't unlock your strikers, you need to find solutions by adding energy, power, quality, threats to the sides, you know. So, yeah, I like this signing. I like this signing, but I don't think it was a priority. Like, if we now get Bailey and all of a sudden don't get Sancho, then I'm gonna go, no, you did not do a correct move. Because, yes, he can play on the left, but he is naturally left-footed, so he plays on the right. And to be honest with you, it's great to have squad depth, but our priority right now was not to add another right winger, because you already have Soule there and you already have Dybala there. You need left wingers. You need somebody who shoots with his right. This team has nobody that can do that apart from El Shaarawy, which isn't a starting player, because he's not. We can't start with El Shaarawy. So I get it, and I would love to get Sancho and Bailey. And apparently we are going to get both Sancho and Bailey. But if all of a sudden this signing of Bailey eliminated Sancho, then you got it wrong. But hopefully it doesn't, because Fabrizio said that Roma wants to get them both in, which would be good for our attack. That's my thoughts on Bailey. Right, little thoughts on the game, and then I'm going to end it. I'm not going to keep it too long. Confermo, inizia con la vibrazione anale che piace la famosissima shit in the pants. Hi Maitri, we should play two front with Soule and Ferguson and Cam Dybala. I read an article, Neom SC pushing hard for Ndika, says CPR. Right, focusing on today's game. Going back to the comment that Messi wrote, we should play two with Soule and Dybala. After watching today's friendly game, I can confirm officially, after having thought this, but have not confirmed it officially, Soule and Dybala cannot play together. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you want. I don't care who you love. You can love them both. They cannot play together. Because if you play together, if Dybala and Soule play together, one of the two will feel hammered, and one of the two knows that he will have to play in a position which is not his. Soule scored a goal today. Great goal. Soule scores again. But Soule on the left is wasted. Completely wasted. He scored that goal today just because Wrench crossed it in and he was there, stopped the ball and put it in. Otherwise, he did nothing today. That's because he played on the left. Soule cannot play on the left. He is half as dangerous, half as creative, and half as threatening. Soule on the left is like it's like a litter. It's like throwing a plastic bottle on the floor. You're littering, you're wasting his talent. You are. Which is why Dybala and Soule cannot play together. They can't, because if Dybala and Soule want to play together, Soule needs to play on the other side. And he's completely wasted there. So I don't want to see Soule and Dybala play together ever again. De Rossi tried it, it didn't work out. Gasperini tried it today in the preseason friendly. It worked out because Soule scored, but it doesn't work out because apart from the goal, Soule did nothing. Little thought on Dybala. Dybala the stinker today. I know it's a friendly game, and I know that it's Dybala's first game back since March. You can't expect Dybala to be ready. But today's friendly game puts to practice that Dybala's physical condition is worrying. 7 days to go until the start of the season. Dybala is not a starting player, and I love Dybala. When Dybala's fit, Dybala is 7 spans ahead of everyone else in the league and everyone else in our team. But Dybala's condition right now is worrying. Dybala's condition right now is a result of a player that had a preseason where he was coming off from an injury because he had a lot of individual sessions rather than collective sessions. So much of that physical work and aerobic work that the players did, Dybala didn't do, and much of the tactical sessions that the team and the players did, Dybala didn't do because he was training by himself, trying to recover fully from the problem. You can tell because Dybala's condition today was worrying, very worrying. I would actually argue that Dybala today was the worst on the pitch. The reason we scored 2 goals today is because Dybala lost 2 balls and they started counterattacks. It's normal. I mean, if you weren't expecting this, then you got it wrong because Dybala was not playing football since March. So if you think that Dybala was going to come back in first game of the season and be the player he was in that Porto game back in February, then Dybala tore a tendon. I'm not sure if we realize. Dybala had surgery. Dybala had a very delicate injury. So I'm not attacking Dybala one bit. It's understandable. But this Dybala cannot start. Like, to put it to practice, Soule right now needs to start ahead of Dybala every day of the week. Until Dybala gets back going. He got back training with the group yesterday, on Monday. Not yesterday. Yesterday, 2 days ago. Dybala got back training with the group 2 days ago. Dybala did 1 month of individual training sessions, so you can't expect Dybala to be perfectly back. But having said this, Dybala can't start. On Saturday, I don't want Dybala to start because Soule is better than Dybala right now. It's not that Soule is better than Dybala. Soule is readier than Dybala right now. This preseason proves it. And today's friendly game proves it as well. So Soule needs to start on Saturday, not Dybala. You can give Dybala the last 20 minutes, 30 minutes, yes. But Soule needs to start on Saturday, not Dybala. The last thing that I'll say today, I didn't like today's game because we made them look like Real Madrid. And I'm sorry, but that's not possible. There was one player that I knew, and that was Lacazette. The rest, who were they? Like, we have a team which plays in a city which still has to be built. It's a friendly game, yes, but you can't let an opponent like them be so dominant on you. You can't. The issue today was the defense. They scored 2 identical goals. Counterattacks, get the ball, very unbalanced, score 2 goals. That's an issue. That's an issue that we all knew because Gasperini is about attack, not defense. Gasperini is about scoring, not defending. So we will see more goals scored with Gasperini. Yes, we will. But we will also see more goals conceded because we play with a very high line and we've got this tactical identity where one centre-back always goes up to press, leaving the others by itself and leaving Angelino, Celik, and the right flank or the left flank to come in and substitute as that centre-back goes up to press. And that leaves spaces, that leaves gaps. A high line is very risky. A high line is very effective in terms of intensity and pressing, but you find a team that is good at counter-attacking and you're dead. Like, you would concede 3 goals. And that's the issue today, I think the defense is one of the things, we were saying this on the fan forum, The defense is one of the things that will get worse in order to improve. I'm convinced about this. We will suffer defensively in the first games of the season. Even the first months, we will suffer to improve. We will concede a lot of goals at the start of the season in order to improve. Yes, we will, because Gasperini wants this high line, effective net movement of defenders, but in order for these players to learn it, especially because they're coming from 3 seasons with Mourinho, who played the opposite, 6 months with Ranieri, which focused a lot on the defense, it takes time. It will take time. But yeah, the defense very unorganized, and it will take time, and it will get worse in order for it to improve. The last thing that I'll say that I didn't like today was the general lack of precision. It's that classic Roma performance where everybody looks like they're sleeping. Nobody really wants to pass the ball precise, chaotic passes. Yeah, today's game was not good. The other issue is sterile, or strikers are too sterile. They're way too sterile. It's an issue. It's an issue which, frankly speaking, I hope in Ferguson, but I am not seeing improvements in Dovbyk. And I'm like, I try not to want to always get back on Dovbyk and attack him, but I don't see him improving. Our strikers are too sterile. If Soule doesn't get the ball and invent something, we would not score a goal. Ferguson today, even worse than Dovbyk. We've got this problem, which Gasperini needs to find a solution on how to solve, because otherwise it's going to be brutal. It really is. Our strikers need to wake the fuck up, because both of them, I'm speaking about Ferguson as well, it's a few friendly games now that he's falling into the Dovbyk steps of every time. He doesn't make himself useful for the team. Better than Dovbyk in that sense, but still a lot to improve. But yeah, look, 7 days to go. Last friendly game gone. Pre-season finished. Saturday's game is tough. We will have match previews, of course. We'll be back this week. I'm going to France tomorrow, but don't worry. I will keep you covered this week. Pre-season ends. Previews will be back and everything. Can't wait for the start of the season. But, it's a tough first game. It's a tough opener. I'll speak about it in the preview, but first impressions on the opening game on Saturday is, Bologna are a team that go fast. They attack the space very well. So this defense does worry me a bit for that opening game. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Who will bench Dybala or Soule? Who will bench Dybala or Soule? What do you mean? Who will bench Dybala or Soule? I don't get the sense of that question, mate. Why don't we sell Pellegrini and Baldanzi, says Messi. Hello, Marco. We have a lot to sell and a lot to buy, which makes it worse. I'm not expecting much from this season, says Ines. Roma needs to hire Endrick from Real. Anyone seen the video of Gasp saying, where is Gilardi? Yeah, I did. Anyways, I'll catch you soon. Hit the like, subscribe. 100 likes would be great. Don't be shy. Don't be timid. Hit that thumbs up. 7 days to go. If you're excited, let me know down below. Leave a comment, subscribe, and hit the like. Talk to you soon. See you out.